When pride falls, wisdom speaks and prayer prevails. God restores what arrogance destroys. Welcome to day 164 of the 180-day Bible journey. Today, humility opens heaven's favor. Wisdom guards our words, and prayer moves the hand of God. As we start off with Ezekiel chapter 32 today, God's lamentation against Egypt and Pharaoh, who will become a prey to other nations, and darkness will be upon it. It will be desolate with the sword of Babylon and other nations. They shall dwell with the uncircumcised, and they will go down the pit. Prideful nations fall under divine justice. In Ezekiel chapter 33, God explains the responsibility of the watchman as he commissions Ezekiel to become a watchman over Israel. To warn the wicked of their ways, God demonstrated the fairness of his dealings with the righteous and also with the wicked. Israel is shown the result of disobeying the Lord's statutes and commands, and why they couldn't possess the land, though they tried. Faithful warning preserves the soul. In Ezekiel chapter 34, God laments the irresponsible shepherds who only feed themselves and don't take care of the flock of the Lord. He will relieve them of their duties, and he will become Israel's shepherd, seeking that which was lost and not being a prey to their enemies anymore. They shall now become a blessing, and there will be showers of blessings. God restores his people under righteous leadership. In Ezekiel chapter 35, God proclaimed judgment on Mount Seir, and his hand will make it to become desolate and laid waste, because they shed Israel's blood. As they have shown hatred and anger against Israel, so the Lord will also do to them. Vengeance returns upon the vengeful. In Proverbs chapter 15, we see that the wise uses their tongue well with knowledge and with right answers. They receive instructions and they are prudent. God delights in their ways. The prayer, the thought, the sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord. But the Lord hears the prayer of the righteous. Wisdom speaks truth, and righteous speak pleases God. In the New Testament, in James chapter 3, we see that the tongue, though little, but has great impact on the outcomes of our lives. It directs, it blesses, and it also curses. We need to tame the tongue to be seen as being perfect. There is a wisdom that is earthly, and there's also a wisdom that is heavenly. The earthly wisdom is encapsulated in envy, strife, versus the heavenly wisdom, which is peaceful, which is gentle, and which is merciful. Speech reveals the fruit of our heart. In James chapter 4, fighting comes when there is a contention of unanswered prayers due to pride, due to lustful desires. God resists the proud, but he gives grace to the humble, and then he lifts them also up. We don't speak evil or judge others, but neither should we be boastful of what tomorrow is going to hold. We should all depend on God's grace and God's ability. In James chapter 5, the rich oppressors, they will be judged as they lived in robbery, as they live in pleasure, while they also corrupt themselves. We should be patient like Job, and the afflicted should pray The sick should be prayed for by the elders, and the cheerful should sing psalms. There's power in the righteous man's prayer, just like the prayer of Elijah. Persistent prayer releases divine power. This brings us to our memory verse today in James chapter 5, verse 16. It says, confess your trespass, says, to one another, and pray for one another, that you may be healed. The effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man avails much. I believe the more we engage in prayer, effective prayer, prayer that comes from the heart, prayer that comes from within us, prayer that is born out of a heartfelt desire, it also empowers. And that prayer is what brings much more answers before God. And I pray that we'll continue to experience answered prayers, manifestation of answered prayers in our lives, in the name of Jesus. My name is Alan, and I thank you for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Until then, God bless you and have a good weekend.